Well, if it wasn't obvious that we were going to be doing a reaction to this, even I did a community post on this. That's right, guys. And this being its own reaction video, solo, and joining me, my dad, aka Little Blue, and it seemed necessary and fitting that both me and I would do this reaction. That's right, guys. Finally, at long last, the official teaser trailer for the new upcoming Superman film for the new DC universe, run by James Gunn, and which, in fact, directing the Superman film. It has arrived, and we'll start with because you hadn't seen this, but I have, and I don't think it's a problem, of course. Start with the Superman teaser trailer tomorrow, sneak peek and such. All right, so, and after that, all right, so ready?
Ready.
So here it is, the teaser for. Oh, sorry, starting still. Tomorrow, which, as we do this recording, it came out today. Yeah, it did, so. No, actually yesterday, so. Which came out the next day, so.
Did you hear the music?
Yeah, it was like a little, I recall hearing like a little snippet of like, say, the Superman theme, the specific Superman music that John Williams wrote, right?
Yes.
Right.
Maybe, I'm hoping they use that because that's fantastic music.
Well, and sadly, John Williams, I checked, and unfortunately, he's not the composer for this movie. I heard a while back, even John Williams, I think, expressed interest. But overall, whom is the composer for the music and score of the Superman film? The same guy who had worked with James Gunn in a couple of other films, The Suicide Squad and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Well, whatever it is, it's got to be, the music has to be epic. Because it's Superman.
And it should contain, samples of John Williams' music, that he wrote.
Exactly.
Because nothing can top off the Superman theme that John Williams wrote.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, but now that we finished on the teaser for the official teaser, what did you think of that,
Oh, what's my appetite for
yes,
the big one?
And before we get into it, because I, should have brought this up, but, that's okay. Like, how have you been feeling for a while now? Because with the new Superman film, James Gunn helming DC, and with a brand new universe, how have you been feeling? And even as of now, and right as, even now that we finished the teaser for the trailer and right before we start, you get my point.
Well, I mean, DC's gone through several resets.
Especially when it started with the DC Extended Universe.
I mean, now they're even talking about, Robert Pattinson may not even be in the new DC Universe as Batman. So it's like, stick with the plan already. The most successful franchise has been the Avengers, has been the Marvel franchise in the beginning.
Yeah.
Because it was completely consistent with the character development. All of the movies dovetailed together perfectly.
Yeah.
And if you watched each movie, there was that history just kept building and building and building and building and building to the point that it was almost hard to follow if you missed a movie.
Yeah.
So all I'm saying is they spent so much time building those characters in the Marvel Universe. That's why it was so successful.
Yes.
And so now, if they're going to do this, and they do a hard reset, okay, we'll say, all right, hard reset, start over, let's see what you got.
Yeah. But unfortunately, like when the DC Extended Universe happened, and technically it started with the Man of Steel, Warner Brothers, they messed up. They were just cramming some of those films out, the next year and such, with Dawn of Justice, and, then Justice League, they weren't doing it right.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
No, and the Justice League was almost.
Or as we refer to it as Josh Whedon's Justice League.
Well, it was almost copied directly from Marvel because Batman, Bruce Wayne provided all the tech gear.
Okay, yeah.
It was just like Iron Man providing all the tech gear for Marvel and for the Avengers.
And technically, it's true because Bruce Wayne and Tony Stark, they're in that same territory where they have all these gadgets and amazing technology that
they don't have superhuman strength. They have a skill set. I mean, I would say between Tony Stark, and at least the way Tony Stark was portrayed in the Marvel Universe with Robert Downey Jr. When you look at Batman, Batman had a very he had mad skills because he was trained by Ra's al Ghul.
Yes,
He was trained by the League of Shadows. He knew martial arts. He could take down 20 men at one time.
but
Robert Downey Jr. or Tony Stark could not do that unless he had his Iron Man,
and that is
prosthesis.
and that is with the exception of the Batman, Matt Reeves, Robert Pattinson, where apparently Alfred trained Bruce Wayne. If I remember correctly.
Yeah, and it's that's fine.
Yeah, I didn't have a problem with that.
But it's sort of like getting off track because where's the League of Shadows? Where's Ra's al Ghul? Where's all It's just anyway.
I don't know.
All right, well, let's watch this thing.
But just overall, like, have you been hoping that maybe James Gunn would, do DC right and with the new Superman film? Like, again, just how have you been feeling so far?
Well, there's always hope. I'm remaining.
It does seem like as of now, and now that we have the official teaser, and I've seen this. There have been some people that seem to be giving this the trailer some pretty decent positive things.
Well, I have, and I'm going to emphasize the word cautious here.
Yeah.
I have cautious optimism about this.
We're not really sure how this is going to go, but maybe hopefully it could. And besides, James Gunn being no stranger to doing anything comic book movie related, and he never disappointed with any of the past like comic book films he did. Most notably the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Right.
And the Suicide Squad film that he did, that was good.
Mm-hmm.
And even when he did Peacemaker and doing all these others that, for the new DC universe, doing pretty good. So, yeah. And let's hope the same can go for the Superman film.
Let's give it a watch.
Let's give it a watch. Like, now we can finally see this. The moment has come for each of us. Here we go. Without further ado, the official teaser trailer to the new Superman film for the new DC universe. James Gunn. What more do I have to say? Here we go. Ready? Wait. I'll do the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Obviously, he crashes in the snow.
Well, that doesn't sound too good.
His appearance as Clark Kent. Okay, I think I hear, that's a rock and roll version of the John Williams Superman.
Yep.
Not bad. Yep, Guardians of the Galaxy. Clark's human father.
Here we go.
Here comes Crypto.
I know what's coming.
And how Crypto, unless you've seen a picture of Crypto, just
home, baby, home.
Lex. Oh, cool. Green Lantern, Hawk Girl. Can't remember his name. As well as another superhero. Yeah, him. I can't remember his name either, but
Wow.
wow, indeed.
So we've got
Now that we've seen it, the first things we have to say. So,
well, it's a lot of eye candy to take in. That's for sure.
yeah. I mean, You weren't disappointed? Not one single second of it?
Well, I'm not. I'm still cautiously optimistic. I just when they start
Aren't we all?
when they start introducing, I like when they focus on one superhero in a movie, a standalone movie about a superhero. It's Superman. Now I love they brought Krypto in, but now we got Green Lantern and who is it?
Hawk Girl.
Never heard of Hawk Girl.
Well,
in
you
my
know
life.
you know of Hawkman, right?
Yes.
Well, there you go, because Hawk Girl. So
Okay. All right. So
because
anyway.
Supergirl, Batgirl, need I go on? So.
Yeah. Okay. So we got Hawk Girl and we got Green Lantern. That's cool.
And
Green
another
Lantern's cool.
and another superhero, which being a black guy, I can't remember his name, but
It's not Black Adam, is it?
no, it's not. It's someone else completely different.
Okay. Okay.
And another character, like, we got a close-up shot of him. It was is he far back? Well, I'll point him out, but, so, we're a few members of the Justice League appearing in this, but hopefully, James Gunn, he's hopefully he's going to do something right, and with there being a few other superheroes in the Superman film,
Which one was Green Lantern?
that was Nathan Fillion. There he is, that guy who I was trying to describe. I can't remember his name either, but yeah, Green Lantern again. That was Nathan Fillion, because right there. So.
That's Green Lantern.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I think Hal Jordan, I want to say, because there's 3 different Green Lantern characters.
Well, wait a minute. Is he playing the good guy or is he playing the bad guy?
It's hard to tell, because, we saw, protesters, and one guy throwing something. Something's going to happen. We don't know what, but just,
Okay. Very interesting.
it is.
Very interesting. But there is one of the Green Lanterns that's, and I can't remember who he was in the Green Lantern we watched.
With Ron Reynolds?
Yes.
Might be, it's Hal Jordan, so...
Yep, I know, but I'm saying I don't think this is Hal Jordan. I don't think this is...
Again, there are 3 Green Lanterns, and one of them having a specific look and design, just how it is with Nathan Fillion in this.
Yeah.
So, with that hairstyle and the wardrobes, that basically...
Yeah, so...
But speaking of which, I've been seeing this on Facebook because of the haircut Nathan Fillion has for this.
Mm-hmm.
People have been comparing it to, say, Jim Carrey from Dumb and Dumber, or some others with that kind of. But again, clearly in the comics, that Green Lantern has that kind of hairstyle. So, and not to mention there is a black Green Lantern as well. So.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. So, by the way, did you see that the black character of Green Lantern? He got a statue.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, because I wish I could remember, because in one location where there's a couple of other statues of DC heroes.
Right.
So, yeah. Anyways, but like I said, James Gunn, I'm sure, he's going to find a way, with how to handle a few other superheroes that are going to be in Superman, because it could be tricky sometimes, but as long as it could be promising, and if it could be done in the right way.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but anything else you want to point out and talk about that was in the trailer?
Like I said, I love the fact that Krypto's in it. That's just awesome. And I have to say that I was flipping through something this morning in the news, and there was a picture of Krypto, and and
Is it the same?
I scrolled on by. It was from the trailer, and I was like, great,
still shots.
It was a still shot, just one still shot of Krypto. So.
Don't worry, because I've been seeing a lot.
Yeah, I've completely avoided it. I have completely avoided
Sadly,
it.
I couldn't get away from them. So.
With the exception of the one still shot of Krypto, and I'm like, cool. I'm like, ooh, I can't see this.
There was technically already a publicity picture of seeing the back of Superman Krypto.
Yeah, I remember that.
The view of Earth.
We both saw that. Yeah, I remember that.
I've heard a few people complaining on the dog breed of Krypto for this, but keep in mind, guys, James Gunn specifically, by the look and design of Krypto and the breed of dog Krypto is in this, well, modeled after James Gunn's rescue dog. if you know about that.
Very cool. Very cool. That is very, very cool.
And do you think it doesn't matter like what kind of breed dog Crypto would be?
No, he's white. As long as he's white.
Yeah,
like
as
he is in
long
the comic books,
as long as he's
he
white.
looks, he doesn't have to be he doesn't have to be some kind of a mastiff or anything, which is a dog breed. He looks fine the way he is. And let's face it. I mean, he could be a Chihuahua and have Superman's powers, and he'd still be invincible. So there.
Yeah, exactly. And how do you feel? Because of course, with the casting, because whom will be Superman? Lois Lane.
Very good. The casting looks really good. Now, I didn't see Jimmy in it.
Technically, he was, but
Okay.
in the Jimmy, a part of the Daily Planet.
Okay, he was probably in the background, and I didn't catch him right away, but he was.
That's him right there.
Okay, Jimmy Olsen. Okay,
Right
there
there.
he is.
I know who that is.
Yeah.
Because he was in Night at the Museum 3. I can't remember his name, but again, he was in Night at the Museum 3 and in that Netflix show Santa Clarita Diet. So
Good casting. I mean, it looks like good casting.
and Lois, of course.
Yeah, and I would expect nothing less from James Gunn. He's proven his mettle as a director.
And again, because what about say is Nicholas Hoult? I think that's the Lex Luthor. Who would be playing Lex Luthor?
Perfect. I actually, I don't know the other. I like the Lex from Batman versus Superman.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
And I can't remember his name.
I know who you're talking about.
But
yeah,
the actor's name. He was. I mean, he had. You could tell he had a couple of loose wires in his brain.
Yeah, but here's the thing. This was recent, where and maybe some of you guys heard this. You probably haven't, but this is, and if so, this is the first time I'm telling you this. Where he came out and stated that his role as Lex Luthor hurt his career.
Well, I don't see why that would have hurt his career, because he's. I don't see how you can typecast from that. I mean, unless he is just a.
Yeah,
like
I think like
actor.
it all. I think it like almost. If I'm maybe let me take that back. I need to go back and read it, but I think he said it almost ruined his career or something. I don't know, because I mean you'll have to look at it too. So
Yeah.
but I never really had a problem with his Lex.
No,
Because this Lex
no.
was, I mean, he was let's face it, I mean, that Lex was a bit young, and he was naive, but at the same time, he was a psychopath and evil altogether.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, I don't see the real problem to it, because and again, what about you? Because you thought he was a good Lex Luthor.
Yeah, absolutely, I did.
And how do you feel so far in What's in Face, who will be Lex for the new Superman film?
Well, from what I can see, he's his portrayal looks pretty authentic. Pretty true to the character Lex Luthor from the comics and the other movies.
Yeah.
So he's we'll have to see his acting chops, see how he pulls it off. Each actor that portrays a certain role, just like the actors that have portrayed Batman through the decades, they've all brought a different personality to that character. I think Michael Keaton probably had the most powerful
and he's the
personality,
and he's the fan favorite
because his Batman persona was copied by Christian Bale and even
Val Kilmer, George Clooney.
they all copied it. That style, that whisper voice, that whole thing. So that may have been a Tim Burton thing.
Kind of. I mean,
It may have been something that Tim Burton and Michael Keaton worked out.
George Clooney really didn't I don't recall him really whispering or something.
Well,
No.
changing his voice. It's
Exactly, yeah.
Now I thought when Ben Affleck played Batman, I thought, oh, that's brilliant. Because,
I like this?
Because they had the voice. They had a voice changer on him. A voice.
Oh,
on,
Ben
and
Affleck?
the Ben Affleck.
I thought you were.
and it.
I
had
thought my mind was on Christian Bale. So.
and it was completely echoed. Now, yeah, Christian Bale, I liked his Batman, but his voice would get a little breathy sometimes.
Yeah.
And
he didn't have to really talk in that voice all the time, even if he was say face to face with Lucius Fox or something. He could have talked in his normal voice.
And he still talked in the Batman voice. He even when he was. Even when he's, Lucius is looking at this thing that he's created, and he said, "This is wrong," And, you know, he says, you know, instead of saying in his normal voice, he says, "I've got to find this man, Lucius." You know, he's in that whisper voice. And in this, the scene later when, you know, Joker is waiting for the boats, the boats to blow up.
Yeah.
He's "This city just showed you," you know, whatever he says, but it's just like he's out of breath and he's winning. Like, what? You know, it's like, you know, catch your breath before you start talking, because and not that even Joker would pick up on it, you know. He may pick up on and say, "Hey, that sounds like Bruce Wayne's voice." I don't think anybody would even think about that, you know.
No. But coming back to, say, Superman, because, like, again, how do you use, like, on the casting, because still, like, how do you feel, because whom will be Superman and Lois Lane?
I like the casting. They've changed Superman's now. You know, we had Christopher Reeve, God rest his soul. And he was, in my opinion, he was the best.
Oh, yeah. Like, almost like the definitive Superman.
But Henry Cavill.
And, well, before even Henry Cavill, like Brendan Routh, if I'm
Brendan
saying
Routh was a fantastic
Superman Returns.
And he pretty much mimicked Christopher Reeve's Superman.
And
he really did.
And even I don't think he really intended to.
No, but I think it was his style, his personality.
Yeah.
Now, beyond that, I like the guy that portrays Superman in Superman and Lois. That's the TV series.
Yeah, which of course, you know, it officially came to an end. And especially if you know about this, like, it had to come to an end as soon as possible before this comes out. So,
oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, but I thought he was a fantastic Superman.
And which, by the way, now that Superman Lois is, you know, it came to an end, that marks the end of an era for DC on CW.
Yep.
It all began with Smallville. You know, think about it, because DC and, well, CW doing DC stuff, it started with something Superman, which being Smallville, and it ended with
Superman.
Yes.
And it was,
man.
And then we had The Flash, which was a great show.
There was also Arrow.
Arrow, which was
Arrow came before The Flash.
No.
Yes, it did.
No,
Yep.
Arrow came after The Flash.
No. It came out in 2010. It began in 2010. It started it did begin before The Flash. I'm not lying, okay?
Okay. All right. But I know that
I think the viewers are, if any of you viewers are going to point out to my dad too that, you know, Arrow did come before The Flash.
The Flash was on a long time.
Just look it up. Will you?
Okay. I'll look it up.
Come on.
If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'll admit it when I'm wrong.
You are.
But between those were two really good shows, and oh my gosh.
But the other ones that came along, Legends of Tomorrow and Supergirl, I mean, if you've even seen any of those two, how did you feel on those?
Didn't watch them.
And we
didn't watch them.
Even there was not that much for, say, Batwoman or say Stargirl.
Oh, that was a train wreck. Oh my gosh. I watched that episode. I watched that first episode, and I just thought, "Are you joking me?"
It seemed like it could have been awesome, but then
it was so corny. It was just beyond corny. I mean, and it's like how they didn't get sued by Marvel for stealing Captain America's costume.
Well, I'm pretty sure maybe it would be in the comics somewhere.
Well, if it is, they should have sued DC a long time ago for that one, because
I don't know.
They sure stole Captain America's costume.
There were other DC shows that came and went because that I can think of. Like, there was Teen Titans, a live action Teen Titans, and there was also Doom Patrol.
Now, Teen Titans was actually a comic book that I bought when I was a kid and really enjoyed it, because you had Robin, you had
Cyborg.
No, Cyborg was not in it.
Cyborg did come along in Teen Titans later.
It was Robin. It was a young Flash. I think it was Aqualad, maybe. And I can't remember who else. I think there were four of them, and I can't remember who it was.
Would the Wonder Twins be one of them?
No, the Wonder Twins were not in it. Wonder Twins was better than Wendy, Marvin, and the Wonder Dog. That was the stupidest thing ever.
I'll have to.
They would come out with these cartoons on Saturday morning, and they would come out with this great premise. Here's Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and Wendy and Marvin and the Wonder Dog, and it's like, who are they appealing to? Nobody wants to watch. Nobody wants to watch this. It was a train wreck. To me, it wrecked the show. To have him in there, it was stupid. It was comic relief that didn't need to be there. Just like I will say this,
Not
the
done,
Wonder
not,
Twins,
not done the right way.
the Wonder Twins.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give it that. They had superpowers. They could actually help out. Wendy,
and-
Marvin, and Wonder Dog.
Impressive
No.
superpowers that the Wonder Twins had.
Yeah, very impressive.
Okay.
Form of an eagle, shape of water. Whatever. Wonder Twin powers activate.
Okay.
And they put the rings together or whatever it was. But it was I could accept that. When I was a kid, I watched it and I could accept that.
Right.
But
right.
I'm sorry, Wendy, Marvin, and the Wonder Dog, and they actually were on before the Wonder Twins, because apparently there was a lot of complaints about Wendy, Marvin, and Wonder Dog.
That was now Wendy Marvin. Remind me, because it is DC, right?
Yes.
All right, just making sure.
But they ditched them, man, and they went on to the Wonder Twins. So it's like, okay, we got to appeal. It's like these executives sit around. We've got to appeal to the younger people, and it's like, is it not enough that you've got Batman, Superman, Aquaman, and Wonder Woman? You think that's not going to appeal to young kids? Really?
Yeah.
And then they got to put something stupid in there like that. It's what drives me nuts. It really does. It's just
and look at the '60s Batman show, for crying out loud.
And don't get me started with the Flintstones and that stupid little Martian that I had no business ever being put in that show.
Well,
or Scrappy Doo.
Okay,
Sorry.
Scrappy Doo, I'll give you, but I'm kind of defending a little on the Great Gazoo.
Oh, that great.
Oh, come on! Look, Harvey Korman is the voice of the Great Gazoo. Surely the Great Gazoo. Look, the Great Gazoo is nowhere near awful as, say, Scrappy Doo. Not really, if you think about it. And besides, look again. This is Harvey Korman we're talking about here.
I know.
Who voiced the Great Gazoo. And surely, because with Harvey Korman being the original voice of the Great Gazoo, there would be some great entertainment there. So,
how did we go down such a deep rabbit hole? We went from talking about Superman.
well,
to
I mean, hey,
the Great Gazoo.
Hanna-Barbera being a part of Warner Brothers, being the Warner Brothers family, it's acceptable. It's fine, but
Anybody out there who's close to my age that remembers Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park?
By Hanna-Barbera?
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah, Hanna-Barbera had some involvement.
And a lot of the music sounded like something from
Any
Banana Splits or something.
any of you hardcore Kiss fans and Hanna-Barbera fans, yeah, if you know this.
Well, you can't. I don't even think you can see the movie now. It's out there somewhere.
Yeah, and if it's anywhere on,
'cause I'd like to buy it.
anywhere on social media. So
I'd like to buy the thing. If I could find it for a decent price, I'm not paying $50 for it. If I could find a copy of it for $10 or $15, I'd buy it, or even 20.
Okay, but coming back straight to the Superman trailer, here's another biggie, because how do you still feel, even now that we've seen the trailer, reacted to it, the costume, Superman's costume in this?
I like it. I like it. I do. I like it. I think that, to borrow a term from Dumb and Dumber, I like it a lot. It's really, it's good.
But don't you, how do you, I mean, even also, now that we've reacted and watched to it, because for one thing is that it seemed too big on him or something. What do you think?
His costume?
Yeah,
his uniform?
But look, before the trailer came out, that was one of the things that people were complaining about. It's too big for him or something. It's not tight or anything.
Well, I mean, I didn't notice that, but I didn't notice that at all.
Yeah. That
it was too loose. I mean, it looked like
because we've seen, the past Superman's in variations, their suits always that's we don't get that much. Just go to here. So if there's a really good shot where we can, I guess maybe that one, but even because he's laying down into the snow, maybe because
you really can't tell from that. But that's
letting the trailer run. But my point being is that
all right, you'll see here.
My point being is that the past variations of Superman, they've always fitted and they were tight on them, if you get what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I don't know. I mean, I haven't been complaining that when to some people saying that it doesn't look right on him. Just I mean, does it really matter? I don't know, because surely what's-his-face, who's going to be the next Superman? Surely, because he would have done some workout, you know? That's what's important.
Mm-hmm.
But here's something else. You realize that this is the first Superman variation, especially in live action, where we have the red trousers outside, and we have the S, the logo, on the back of the cape. We haven't had that since, well, Henry Cavill's Superman. But now, because they've included that. So if you can tell by some shots of, you know, him in the suit, like, what do you think? And how, you know, how it fits on him.
I think it fits fine.
Yeah.
So, okay, so what's the dragon? Any speculation on that?
I have no idea.
Okay, so there's Hawkwoman.
Hawk Girl.
Hawk Girl, whatever. Same thing. So, some kind of a cyborg.
That guy, I can't remember his name, but he's, I think, kind of like a powerful alien or something. I have to go back and look.
Oh, that's so cool.
And that guy right there, I can't remember what his name is, but yeah, he's a superhero too. And technically a part of the Justice League. But yeah. But isn't it cool, again, as I pointed out, we have the red trousers outside and the the logo S on the back of the cape.
The S logo goes on the back of the cape. I'm sorry. That is just the emblem of Superman.
It worked fine, like, say, when it was not a part of, like, Henry Cavill's Superman.
Right.
It seemed to work fine, even without the red trousers.
It did, but you know what? The red trousers, the whole thing, that's the classic Superman.
Yeah.
That's
And people, some people complaining about, like, say, you know, wearing your underwear outside or something, you know? But but with, like, say, Superman and Batman, there's a purpose. So
yeah, there's a purpose. We can say that
remember when Pierce Brosnan like turned down Batman because was too fond of like underpants outside? You know, that whole thing.
Yeah, to me.
I think he would have been a good Batman, but I think we'd all be glad that it was Michael Keaton.
I just don't know if he could pull off. I'm just curious if he could pull off an American accent. Because let me tell you something, Batman fans are not going to go for an English accent. It's not going to happen because Batman is not British.
Christian Bale's British.
Of course he is, and he did a wonderful job.
And after Christian Bale, Robert Pattinson.
Yes.
Well, in between them, it was Ben Affleck, but still, later on, when Robert Pattinson stepped into the Dark Knight, yeah, him being British, and he pulled off a good American accent.
Yes, he did. I will say this.
You know what? And also, here's another good comparison: Tom Holland and Andrew Garfield. They're both British, and they did spot on American accents.
Well, the thing of it is,
when portraying Spider-Man,
the one thing I've always noticed in when a British actor portrays an American character from America, they do a wonderful American accent. They can absolutely drop the British accent,
yes,
and completely go into an American accent, and you'd never know it if you had never heard a comparison of what they sounded like. But by the same token, typically American actors do not do a British accent well.
They can sometimes. I was literally going to say there have been some that can do a pretty decent.
Robert Downey Jr. can do a pretty decent one, but see, he grew up in Britain. He was a child, grew up in Britain, so he already kind of had that.
American boy, you know, growing up in London, England, and such. You know, the UK, whatever.
But the thing of it is, I remember when, we've talked about this before. Kevin Costner played Robin Hood. And
yes.
And if you saw that portrayal, he just speaks sort of proper. He has an American dialect, an American accent. He's nothing. And somebody asked him, you know, a reporter asked him, says, why didn't you do an accent? You chose not to do an accent in the movie. He says, no, I'm doing an accent. And it's like, in his
opinion, he is.
All righty then. You know, it's like, that was no British accent. You know?
And that would be just horrible. The fact that, you know, we can't have a Robin Hood that is not British.
Well, we did in that one because he did not have an English accent.
Did it seem acceptable and okay? Maybe just for once in this variation of Robin Hood.
Here's the thing. Kevin Costner is so cool, he can pull off anything.
Oh yeah.
I love Kevin Costner as an actor.
Most notably, especially him in Yellowstone.
Yeah, his character was...
but more than that.
his character was pretty mean in Yellowstone. I mean, he could be a vindictive.
But he was good at it.
Yeah, he was real good at it. He was very good at it.
Yeah.
And the actress that played Beth Dutton, she's British, and you would never have known she was British if you didn't know who she was, and I didn't know who she was. And when I looked it up and found out that she was a British actor, I'm like, what? You know, it blew me away.
Yeah.
And then when I heard her talk for real, it's just like, you know, I don't know. Accents fascinate me, and again, back to the British actors being able to portray American characters. You know, they can do it all day long and twice on Sunday, and
exactly
American actors typically can't.
And you know, also Henry Cavill's British, and he was doing a spot on American accent as Superman.
Yes, exactly. I mean, it's almost unending. And when Benedict Cumberbatch played Doctor Strange, they asked him, they said, are you just going to do your British accent? He says, no. He knew that Doctor Strange, Stephen Strange, was an American doctor. So he did an American accent, and dogged if he didn't pull it off.
Yeah. Also, have you noticed like a bit of a curly hair? They brought that back too.
That is the Superman. That's one of the Superman trademarks. Is the curly lock coming down?
It turned out it was okay. Again, it seemed to work okay with that not being a part of the Superman variation. Henry Cavill.
Right.
It worked fine.
Yeah.
No S on the back of the cape, no red trousers, and no curly hairs with Henry Cavill's. It worked fine.
Well, apparently, this scene where you've paused on this, where the guy throws a can and hits him in the head,
everybody
which would have been like a speck of dust, landing on you. You wouldn't have even known it. But you can see everybody it's a hostile crowd. So evidently, he is accused of something.
You know what? We always sometimes have to have those certain things with some superhero materials, whatever. But it's always kind of upsetting and just like, oh my gosh, because how they're treating the good guy, whoever,
Well, apparently, I'm guessing
you know exactly what I'm talking about.
I'm guessing it's something that Lex Luthor has probably manipulated in the media to make him look bad.
Yeah.
Happens all the time,
Even like seeing some of the photos that have been published on social media of them filming. And it's not just Lex Luthor, but we're getting another villain as well, obviously working alongside with Lex. I can't remember who it is specifically, but it is a female, but yeah. Also, have you noticed that they brought this back to the Daily Planet logo? It's a spinning globe.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's classic.
I never realized, and did you either, that in the DC Extended Universe, and Henry Cavill's Superman, the Man of Steel, they didn't do that. They didn't do like a spinning logo, globe, planet. They just had a regular building with the giant letters Daily Planet. I guess it's just one of those things like you never really pay attention to. But I'm glad to see they're also bringing that back because
that's the first thing I saw was
that was in the other one, the teaser for this. So
exactly.
Also, I read this and I definitely wanted to bring this up. Did you know that apparently James Gunn stated that the shots of Superman flying, and if I'm correct, I think you had already seen this. The shots of Superman flying in the Superman film, James Gunn stated they were inspired by the flying shots and so on from Top Gun Maverick.
Wow.
Yeah. Is that not awesome?
That's going to be...
Is that not awesome? Like...
That's going to be... man, that's going to be something to see.
And I repeat, is that not awesome to hear?
Yeah, it's very awesome. Awesome.
I forget, you've already seen Top Gun Maverick, have you?
Twice.
I think, even my mom, she's already seen it too, and I mean, to everybody, because amazing.
Yeah.
And I know we've talked about this, and a quick mention on Maverick, it's amazing, because did it never occur to you because you had seen the first Top Gun when it came out?
I did.
It never occurred, and I don't think it occurred to anybody else that maybe we would see a sequel. Never occurred to you?
Never occurred.
Until...
And I'm glad we got it. Because the first one...
Technically, it's a sequel we didn't ask for, but it was worth it.
I liked the first one. I didn't love it. I liked the first one. I love the opening sequence, the opening shots. Fantastic. But,
and not to say that the first Top Gun film is a bad film.
Oh, no. It's a good film.
It is good.
It's very much an 80s film. there was a feel back in the 80s of these films, you know. These,
Of course.
Take my breath away, you know, then, you know, and huggy kissy and romance and all that. You know, just get on with some action. That's
At
what I'm
least there
talking about.
were some films in the 80s that didn't really do that all the time.
No, they didn't. But,
No.
you know, it's just like, come on, get this teenage this romance stuff that you're targeting teenagers.
Yeah.
I get sick of the when they do the the demographic targeting, you know, in these movies. They have to appeal to a certain audience, so they have to put this in, and they have to appeal to this certain audience, so they have to put this in. You know, just make your movie and stop the garbage. Seriously.
Exactly. And by the way, the still, pausing it right here, the protesters.
Yes.
I saw this on Facebook. I think it is a joke, I'm pretty sure. Basically labeled being, and with the still shot of this, again, on Facebook, you know, saying, I wish I could remember how it specifically goes, but the best I can put at it is DC Extended Universe haters, I want to say. You know, as extras.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm trying to?
I get what you're, I get it.
It's obviously what I saw on Facebook. It's obviously a joke. So, but it is funny, you know, when you think about it.
It is.
Is there anything else to point out in the trailer?
No, I think we've covered it. I think we've covered soup to nuts.
Yeah, and I think this conversation was worth it. You know.
Oh yeah. I agree.
And I've said this before, these reactions, they're not just strictly, you know, reacting, because there's a lot of discussion. These are reaction/discussion videos.
Oh, yeah.
And we're not the only ones that do this. I know a handful of reactors that do the same thing. So, because obviously when it comes to reacting to something, of course there has to be talk.
Well, of course,
And it doesn't matter how long it's going to go.
you have to discuss it. You know?
Exactly.
But like I said, we've gone from soup to nuts, you know, A to Z. We've covered it, and I'm anxious to see the next trailer because it will build.
I was going to mention that.
It will build, and you'll get to see a plot forming.
And the more footage, and the more footage, the more we get in the next trailer.
I'm betting. Here's what I'm betting.
And that is.
Okay, I'm going to make a prediction here.
Okay, lay it on us.
My prediction is the next trailer will fall during the Super Bowl.
You know what? Because usually the Super Bowl is what, around like say February or March?
February.
Okay, we had gotten the official teaser trailer coming out around the holidays, Christmas, and it seems more likely, and obviously this has happened before with other big upcoming films like this when the trailers are released. Like, if ever, like, a trailer for a big anticipated film like this would come out around the holidays, chances are, when to expect the next trailer would obviously be, say, around the Super Bowl, so...
Super Bowl Sunday. You'll see it. I'd almost bet money on it. Because it's watched by so many people, and that will be... We've gotten a teaser of a teaser, and now we've
2 minutes of a teaser.
And now we've gotten it, so we're going to get another one. And I can almost guarantee you, if there's some wicked flying shots in this, it'll be in that trailer.
Oh, I'm sure as though we're going to get more epic shots of Superman flying.
It's going to be epic to really grip the audience and really want to see this movie.
By the way, because speaking of flying shots, because with Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, because we had flying shots of Adam Warlock.
Yeah.
So, you know, James Gunn already doing something like that with flying, with shots of a character flying, you know?
Right.
How'd you feel on that? Because the flying shots of Adam Warlock in Guardians 3.
It was fine.
Okay, so
I mean, it was good.
That was just the beginning of James Gunn doing something like that, flying shots.
Yes.
You know, like a superhero, or whatever. Like even with a cape.
Clearly, does
because Adam Warlock, at a certain point, he technically, I guess, like redeemed or something. He joined the good side.
Yeah.
So, and I forget, because how did you feel on Adam Warlock in Guardians 3? Because how he was built up in Guardians 2 and when it came to Guardians 3.
I think the storyline worked out fine. I liked his character.
And with Adam Warlock.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, even though, despite the fact, you know, Adam Warlock wasn't really the main focus
Right.
I mean, we still got him, and I think to us, Adam Warlock in Guardians 3 was done very well.
I agree.
And especially what's-in-face who played Adam Warlock.
Yes.
So like I just said, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 being the start of James Gunn doing some epic flying shots, and now with this, oh yeah, and like I told you, and if any of you heard this, and that was the first time you heard that the flying shots of Superman being inspired by the flying shots in Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah, we covered that, and I think it's you're going to see more of it.
Of course.
As the trailers come out, we're going to see more, and I think the next one's going to reveal more. I think you're going to get a big reveal in the next trailer.
And you know what? Flying shots of Superman, they've been an important part in the Superman films.
Yeah.
And they've never disappointed, have they?
No. They've never disappointed. It's always been in the tagline for the first Superman movie, Christopher Reeve was "You will believe a man can fly."
There you go. Yeah.
And you did. You saw that movie, and you were just like, I was almost let down that I couldn't walk outside and go, because I thought, man,
I'm any boy's dream.
Of course.
Any little boy's dream.
Of course.
And don't you think, even as of today, they're still amazing? The original Superman films, Christopher Reeve.
You can't watch any of those films and see anything that's like, oh, that's cheesy looking. It looks real. So it's believable.
It is, yeah.
So
remember and very quickly before we wrap up, do you remember telling me this, that one of the U.S. presidents got to see a screening of Superman?
It was.
Was it Jimmy Carter?
It was President Jimmy Carter.
Yeah.
And his daughter. I've forgotten her name right off the top of my head now.
Okay. But they got to see a private screening of the first Superman film.
Well, they probably had a private screening in the White House.
Yeah, because the White House has a
theater,
personal movie theater.
Yeah, it is a personal movie theater.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also, I read this, where when it came to the Oscars, I think in 1978, yeah. John Wayne got to encounter and meet Christopher Reeve. And then a little later, he turned to Cary Grant and pointed out and told Cary that, he's our guy. Like, he's taking our place. He's going to be, if you get what I'm trying to describe.
Exactly.
And I think John Wayne made a good point there.
Yeah, he did.
Because he was going to be the next big hot guy and such in Hollywood,
Oh yeah,
just like how John Wayne and Cary Grant were.
Oh sure.
Yeah, and and I can't forget to mention this, because how do you feel that as of now, it's the new Superman film is just going to be called Superman?
Right.
How do you feel on that?
I'm fine with it.
Because you remember what the original title was, right? It was Superman Legacy.
Yes.
Now,
yes,
do you think we should have kept that title?
Nope. Superman. Superman's good.
Well, what's your feeling and reasoning? Like, it was a good idea to change the title and for it just being Superman.
Superman is Superman. Just leave it as such.
But here's the thing: we've already had a Superman film technically just called Superman.
I know, but we've had Superman. We've had Superman 2. We've had Superman 3
and Superman 4. The Quest for Peace.
Blah 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 blah. And we and then Superman Returns and then. And then
well,
Man of Steel.
I'm just saying, especially like, say, Batman. In the 1989's it was just called Batman. And after that, you can't have another... I'm just saying, you can't have another Batman film just called Batman.
Well, you can if you call him The Batman, because that's technically how his name is said. It's not Batman, it's The Batman.
I'm just saying and how I'm trying to describe it.
Okay.
All
right.
And technically, the very first Superman film from 1978, I think as of now, it's technically now called Superman the Movie.
Yep.
I guess that's fine, and I guess even as of now, but I'm just saying, even my mom told me that with Legacy being in the title, that wouldn't seem right, if you think about it.
Right.
Yeah, because Legacy, if you know what, but anyways, but just overall, I think that's pretty much going to do it. So, all that we've talked about, hey, I think it was worth it. Like I said, these reaction videos, they're both reaction/discussion videos. When it comes to reactions, there has to be talk. So, and boy, the talk we had was worth it, yeah. And besides, this being a big deal.
Yeah, big deal.
And again, we can't know for sure, but we can only hope that this can do great.
I agree.
And James Gunn can pull this off.
Absolutely.
If he did so with Guardians of the Galaxy and so on, maybe this time he can with the new DC universe and one of the first films in the new DC universe, Superman. Yeah, but overall, you thought the official teaser was good?
2 thumbs up.
Yeah, and until the next trailer.
Yeah, until the next trailer.
you could be right that more than likely, because this came out in the holidays, more than likely the next 2 months during the Super Bowl. Yeah.
Yep.
And what about you guys? What do you think so far? And how did you guys feel when watching the official teaser to Superman? I know one of my friends thought this was pretty good. Shout out to Anchorman. Are any of you, as of now, like have some positive things to feel towards the Superman film now? Are you still precautious like we are? Any things in the trailer you thought were awesome, and just how you so far are feeling even as of now with the trailer and with what me and my dad have had to say, the long conversation, just, yeah, overall, what do you think of the official teaser trailer itself for the new Superman film? And with me and my dad's reaction to it, our discussion, what we've had to say, and yeah, what did you think of our reaction? Blah, blah, blah. Leave comments and give this reaction video a like, as always. And with that being said, we thank you very much for watching, and we hope you guys enjoyed our reaction to the official teaser trailer, I should say, to the new Superman film in the new DC Universe, James Gunn, etc. More reaction videos are on the way. They're going to be awesome. Keep looking forward, and we will see you guys in the next video / reaction. And any last words?
I must be off.
He says that for me. Again, thank you very much for watching. Take care, and obviously you can expect me and my dad reacting to the next trailer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Until then, when the next trailer comes out and the more we get, take care and peace out.